Hello and welcome to the show. I am here today on Scrap Mechanic. Now, this game came out quite a while ago. I bought it when it initially came out, played it very briefly, got distracted, and then completely forgot about it. And it was today when I was browsing through my games on Steam while I was waiting for the script hook to get updated on GTA 5 that I came across this, and I kind of felt creative. I fancied building some stuff, and this game is really rather good at building stuff. So that is what we're going to do. I'm going to try and build a vehicle, a car. I was going to say a car, but it's probably not going to end up looking anything like a car of any sorts. But we're going to give it a damn good try. I have played around very briefly, kind of learned the basics. If you have come here expecting some amazing building work, in fact, you can probably tell by whatever mess I have in the thumbnail image that it's not going to be amazing building work. I enjoy these games, does not mean that I am good at them. If we can get a vehicle that works, I will be happy. That is the primary goal here. We can try and make it pretty afterwards. If we can just get a vehicle that drives, I am okay with that. Right, so the first thing that we need is a lift. These are really very cool. I like the lift in this game. Makes building vehicles really quite easy in many regards. We also have an inventory full of different parts. We can have a bathtub. We can have, there is a toilet. We can make a toilet trailer for our vehicle. That might be, we're getting ahead of ourselves. A little bit too far ahead of ourselves. Let's focus on building the vehicle in the first place. So, general blocks, we have got concrete. I'm not sure we want to make a car out of concrete. I mean, it'd be strong. I'm not sure we want to make it out of concrete. We can make it out of wood. Again, I'm not sure. Not sure about wood. We can have metal, which is a fairly sensible material, let's face it, for a chassis. Also, I love how concrete is lighter than metal. I mean, admittedly, I don't know what metal this is. You know, I guess if it's got huge, if it's massively dense metal, but I would have thought it the other way around, but never mind. We can have a barrier block, whatever that does, tiles and brick. Or we could also have some various bits of glass and a lighting up path. We've got various bits of piping, we've got some beams. We could actually kind of make the chassis out of beam sections, I guess. We've got some ducts as well. You can make huge contraptions if you so wish. We're just focusing on... We can have a full working bathroom. I think that's going to be an objective for a later... If people like me messing around in this game, we might have to make a proper toilet trailer for whatever the monstrosity is that we have today. Right, so let's get some bits and pieces that we're going to want. As you can, well, clearly see with the area around us, we've got hills, we've got rocks, we've got stuff to mess about with. We're going to go for an off-road vehicle. You can choose to have your world as a flat world, so if you want to build some crazy fast car in a straight line, or for straight line speed, then you can do that. Right, yeah, so we wanted the big wheels for that. I think we're going to use the metal blocks for the bits of the chassis that aren't going to be the long beams. We'll put that in there as well. I don't know if we're going to need corner beams. I don't know what beam holder is, but we might need it, so that can come in there. The bearings are very important. That's all for your, well, making your wheels work and steering work. Seat, of course, engine is important. Engine will come to a little bit later, though, because we're going to need suspension first, and I've put that in the wrong place. Never mind. And that will go there, and then we've got all sorts of things to mess around with. Right, shall we get started with our vehicle? We are going to go for a... I wonder if I can do... Oopsie, don't want to do that. I wonder if we can do... So we're going to go for... It's essentially going to be a terrible ladder chassis, but it might do the job. It's an archaic chassis design. You know, I'm not exactly going to build a full-on carbon fibre monocoque on here. However, if this does the job, then I'm pleased. Again, as I said, just getting a vehicle that works and looks kind of like something that might be a car is the aim of the game for me right now. Which way around was this? That way around. So if we have that there, like so, I think are we even in length? No, we're not. Of course we're not. I'm a moron. Go away, go away, go away. I screwed it up already. Well, only minorly. Twist and twist and twist and twist and twist, and somewhere in there is the path that we want. They should probably be the other way around, but we're done here, so it's... crap. It's going to have to do. And then they can sit in there. Right. Basic chassis. Quite long. Well, although then again, I guess we are making a... We're kind of making a single-seater. It's more of a buggy, I think, is probably what we're going to end up going for. We're going to want to do something with the suspension. As I said, played around briefly. I kind of have an idea. I gotta have an idea what I want to do for suspension. I have no idea if this is actually going to work, but we're gonna give it a good old try. So if we stick that up there, oh, maybe not so high actually, then we will bring this, oopsie, I've gone past the bloody one that we wanted. We bring this across here. Again, I could prettify it with corner bits, but it's just got to be functioning first. And then we want to have a bearing, because for our steering we're going to use something a little bit. Oh, that's not a bearing. That's a bearing. Going to use a slightly different. I say different method. So you can put these sort of here, and you can put wheels straight onto them. I believe if you rig them up correctly, that you can then have the vehicle essentially tank steering, sort of tracked steering, which is perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. It's a perfectly viable method of getting cars around corners, but I'd want to go for a more conventional steering system. So to manage that one, what we are going to do is put bearings underneath here. Aha, they can connect to the beams. That's nice. So we'll put these on here. Now that means it's going to rotate the entire segment that we're going to attach the wheels to. That should do the job. Actually, no, we don't want that there, do we? Because we want a spring, or the full-on suspension. I don't even know why I'm crouching down. The reason why I love this elevator sort of lift to work on the cars means that, for example, when I'm working here, I can just lift the whole body up. I don't have to worry about crouching down, trying to find a right place to look at it and so on. And that's very, very helpful. That's very helpful indeed. Do we want to go for a metal block then? On there, I think that'll do the job. We will then get, god damn, the suspension is massive on this. We'll get these suspension arms put on there, and then I'm guessing we're going to have to have another block. So yeah, we'll go metal block again at the bottom here. Lift you up even more. Oh, this thing's going to be, yeah, I might have to raise that suspension up a little bit, because then we're going to have the wheels on here again, using the bearings for this. Now they're not going to be connected to the steering. You can choose what bearings you connect up to the controller and how they work, etc., which we'll get to in a minute. And then we can have these giant wheels on there. Okay, how is that? That might be... I might actually want to bring... I'm worried about having too high a centre of mass and have it all completely and utterly wobbly. It tends not to work too well if it's all completely and utterly wobbly. Shall we... Okay, new plan. New plan. We will go and raise this up by perhaps 1. Or do we want to go up by 2? You know what? We'll kind of have one on either side, and I will choose from there. So if we do that, and then we do, just trying to think the best way of connecting it. If we put this one here in first. Oh crap. Difficult. Always missing the direction that I want, and then we'll have that there, and then we'll disconnect that, I believe. Oops, try not to lose that bit. If we go into here, we have a weld. There we go, weld tool. Excellent. And then, rather than having to rebuild all of this, we can simply connect that onto there. Although to do it, we're going to raise up this, because it's slightly phasing through the ground, like so. I think I'm liking that option. I think I'm liking that option for as far as ride height goes. It keeps us relatively low to the ground without, without sacrificing too much ride height, because we do still have to get across relatively harsh terrain. So I'll do the same for this one, and this. We'll connect that to maybe not that to there. I don't know if we can actually rotate blocks or quite how it works. So what we want to do... Oh, no, wait. I'd say I don't know if we can rotate blocks. Of course we can rotate blocks. I don't know if I can unweld it. Can we unweld you? Oh, and we just get rid of the thing entirely. Well done, me. At the end of the day, it's out. No, not that way. That way. There we go. And then we want to get a bearing, because I think we deleted the bearing in all of the shenanigans there. So bearing, and then that can go on there. Haha! There we go. We have our front chassis arrangement. Yeah, well, I'll go with arrangement. It's not pretty, but it might probably do the job. Let's go fill up the holes along here so it looks slightly better. No one needs to see the shoddy workmanship going on in this vehicle. No one needs to know. Right, so if we then go and fiddle these around and extend this backwards, we can then build up the... build up this to the same height. Come on now, we can figure this one out. Which way round do we have them? We have them going that way. So we'll build them up. We will... because we haven't quite got the length perfect for this, because I wasn't really prepared. Never mind. Whoopsie. Get rid of that. That way, yeah. We can have that there. And spinny, spinny, roundy bits and pieces, like so. Right. Apart from that's awful, because I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. Well done. Again, well done me. That's what we want. And voila. Right, it's a really nice, easy sort of building system to play around with. I do very much like Homebrew, the vehicle sandbox game. I have played that one a fair bit before, and this is perhaps in some ways a little bit easier to get vehicles started, to get vehicles on the go relatively quickly, slightly less complex in some ways. Now, sometimes it's good to have complicated, sometimes it's good to have, and I say less complex, and do not get me wrong, you can do some truly incredible things on here. You can do some incredibly complex machinery, and so you've seen all the various bits and pieces we have in here, controllers. You've got various sensors and buttons and switches and so on. I've seen some of the kind of, I don't know what to call them, the saves, the blueprints, I think is what they're technically called, on the workshop that you can get of these fantastic machines. But if you do just want to kind of start off simple with building, well, this sort of thing, it's not too difficult to pick up and begin with, which I like. I like a game that's it's nice and easy to kind of get into and waste many hours prattling around with just the simple stuff, if you're like me and don't really know what you're doing. Okay, we will... Oh, there we go. We will have some wheels on there. Ah, that's not welded on there properly. Guys, we left a wheel behind. Oops. How have we done that? How have we done that? I'm not sure. I'm wondering if it is because... Let's get rid of it. We'll just redo that. It's not exactly a difficult section to build. I wonder if I was trying to weld it onto a... What's it called? Bearing, that it had some issues there. Possibly. You go up. And another one down here. And we will get the wheel back in place. Voila! Look at our tub. We don't need a bathtub. We've pretty much built one. We've just put wheels on it and some suspension. Never mind the Maserati birdcage being the flying bathtub. This is the flying bathtub that you should be talking about. Right. Voila. Now we need a seat. We need a seat of some sort. I have just realised I've built this... have I built this one? Actually, I don't know. See, go away. I don't know if the seats are one wide or two wide. I have a horrible feeling they're two wide. And this is about to be all manners of wonky. I'm also placing a lot of blocks on the floor. Here we go. Please be one wide. Please be one wide. Where are you? Oh, there we are. Piss, it is not. Okay, we're going to be a little bit lopsided. Oh, that's going to annoy the crap out of me. In fact, it doesn't even fit in there. God damn it. We might have to get rid of some of these bits then. Oh, maybe not quite that bit. We'll get rid of that bit. Right, let's then do this. Aha! Right, seat can go in here. Little bit lopsided. Don't worry about it. We'll pretend it's not. Yeah, we'll go with that. And then we will fill up the front, because we're going to need some... Well, we're going to need an engine, or some engines, because I can do multiple engines. Oh, do we go? You see, electric cars always have, like, one motor per wheel. Now, I can spawn in lots of engines, because they're relatively little, if I remember correctly. We could build an electric vehicle. I'm not going to build an electric vehicle, don't be silly. We could go for... yeah, we could go for 3. We could probably get a 4th engine in. Yeah, let's go for 4. Oopsie. Let's go for 1 engine per wheel, because that's totally sensible thing to do. This is going to be really uncontrollable, and I am looking forward to it. Basically just filled in all of that. I could have just built it with these bloody metal blocks. Probably should have done. But I quite like the ladder chassis that we came up with to begin with. Fantastic. Now it looks like one of the bloody tractor-pulling tractors with all the engines at the front. Yeah, it's a brilliant creation. Oh, you're going to let me now put these back in here now that I put the... Ah, you are. Excellent. So when we have a crash, we can smash our face against the pipes. Pipes that... Oh, of course, we can't put them on this side, though, because that's the one where it's slightly leaning over. Well, if I thought about it, we would have done it better, but never mind. Right, now we need to connect everything up. This can only go bloody well, can't it? Connect tool. Right, this is how you tell everything what it's controlling. So this seat is going to control everything. So it's going to control, of course, the steering. I assume there's multiplayer with this game. I assume you can have multiple seats, so you could theoretically have one person control power and one person control steering? I guess. Don't know. Never really thought about that until just now as I'm connecting this stuff up. So that seat's going to control everything on here. Now, we're not going to be controlling these bearings down here. We don't need to, because they're going to be dealt with by the engine. These are just to power the wheel. So what we're going to do is we're going to attach an engine per wheel, because that is definitely the most sensible course of action. Yeah, I think we're good, he says. Right, drop it down. And, oh, that's quite bouncy suspension. Should be good, though, for dealing with this terrain. Now, we have got to sort out the steering. We have to turn the engines on. That would be a helpful thing to be doing if we turn the engines on. We're going to go max power, because of course we are. What else would you expect from me? It's going to go max power, it's going to wobble and fall over within 30 seconds. Most likely. Right, we need to sort out wheel direction, don't we? Make sure that we are all going in the correct direction. So that should work in terms of forwards and backwards. Yeah, seems to be working pretty well. Oh, clonk and reverse. Now, yeah, because the steering isn't working because we've got both sets of steering. Right, we're going to need to change. These ones, I think, should now work. There we go. Four-wheel steering is in effect. Look at it go. Ha-ha! Look at the four-engine monster. Ah! It's not really in control. It's really not in control at all. I have very little say. Although we haven't fallen over. We've met a tree. We've bounced off of a tree. And we're going to fight our way through a muddy area. No, that's not drive-throughable. Oh, we've got indestructible bushes. I might as well be playing GTA. I say indestructible bushes. Are these drive-throughable? Yes, they are. Fantastic. Is that drive-throughable? Let's go and find out. There's a lot of... There's a lot of creaking noises going on. I'm not sure quite what the creaking noises are. They don't sound particularly healthy, and neither does our driver look particularly comfy inside here, does he? This is a little bit... we're wobbling, and I'm fairly sure it looked like one of the wheels was about to give way. Ooh, bit of flat land. Don't know how fast we're going. Don't think there's a speedo. Ooh, that looked painful. That looked like it's going to snap the front wheel off. I don't know if there is vehicle damage or not. I spy... Oh, okay, never mind. I thought it was a ramp, just render distance. It hadn't loaded in some rocks. Damn it, I was going to say, I spy a ramp that looks like you might be able to jump over this fence. Probably wouldn't let you, though. What happens if we do just drive... Whoa! That's what happens if you just drive at the fence with the crazy four-wheel steer wobble wagon with its many engines and little control. There we go. We're fine. We're fine. I mean, it's a working car. And that's what I set out to do. And that's going to be a face plant. Oh, we've recovered it. We've rolled it twice. It's not quite a jelly car. It's not quite got the rollover immediate effect going on. I don't know what it is that's making the horrible squeaking noise. I think it's the suspension as it's compressing. Yeah, the suspension is making the weirdest squeaky noise. Can we do some awesome wheelies? Not quite. We can do some really awesome endos, though, if we go forward and then yank on the brakes. And then there's a little bit of a wheelie going on there. A little bit of a wheelie going on. Okay, I think we might need some work on the suspension. I think, did I see? Yeah, okay, yes, we can. I thought, oh, okay, maybe not quite that much, but we do want a little bit. What was it, 5? What did no, I left it on 4 in the end. We do want a little bit firmer suspension because we do seem to be really bouncing. I don't think I want to know what 20 is. If this is... I mean, that's kind of stiffened... It looks like it's stiffened the suspension up quite a lot, just going from that one level. So I was suspecting 20 is it's literally... is literally welded in place. That's more like it. That is a lot more like it, in fact. We've got a little bit of compliance. We've got some big air time. But it's not quite wibbling and wobbling and trying to flex itself apart. I mean, it still will if you're an idiot. Which, let's face it, I'm driving a 4-engine thing. I'm going to be an idiot. Oh, we've almost had a front flip. We might need some aerodynamical tweaks. There we go. Look at me doing English and everything. For the when we get in the air, things tend to go a little bit haywire. I spy a rock face. Shall we see if our vehicle will be any good at Formula Off-Road? Can we fire it at the rock face and climb up it? One of two things are going to happen here. Either we're going to make it and it'll be incredible, or we'll fall over and roll back down again. Not that there's a very big rock face. Either one, I think, is... or we'll make our vehicle illegible to get into Formula Off-Road, because they tend to do one of the two with all of their runs. Okay, here we go. Just sort of General Geronimo. It's not done either. It's not done either. It's a letdown. In fact, what it has done is beached itself. I think that means it's not a good Formula Off-Road vehicle. Oh, there we go. Come on, wiggle yourself free. This can be recovered. This can be redeemed with a little... if only that rock wasn't in the way, we could have a lovely little course to try and climb up. Right, let us position it a little bit better. It's not really going to be any better positioned. Nope. Hey, although we have now done a roll. And that is... Well, that's okay by me, really. It's a FailRace. Not only is it in a FailRace video, it's been built by me. It must at some point fall over. We will get you on a lift somewhere where we can hopefully put you back on your wheels. Well, I think this is quite the machine, quite frankly. I think this is one of the best... no, maybe not one of the best things I've ever built. What was it? The semi-truck I built on Homebrew was pretty damn cool. This is a decent enough solid start point as far as building vehicles on here go. You know, relatively easy to knock up a vaguely functioning chassis. The suspension actually did a bit better than I thought it would. It's kind of dealing with the bumps. I think it might be far too powerful for its own good. Shall we try? Okay, let's give something a try here. As much as it pains me to do this with our four-engined monster, we're just going to turn the power down on all of these engines. I don't actually know how much... We've got 50% power, but let's face it, the full 100% power was pretty ludicrous, so 50% might also be very ludicrous. No, 50% power, turns out, is much more sedate and kind of a normal vehicle-ish. Look at that, you see, we can climb over the... Well, we can bounce over the first part of the rocket and the rear wheel not really go. In fact, 50% is kind of just no power at all. We'll kind of chug along very, very noisily. Sounds more like a generator than an engine at the front there. Either way, yeah, look at this, see? We can drive sensibly. Can we drive up stuff? How good are we... Oh, at climbing? No, we don't really have a locked diff, do we? Yeah, all but the one wheel on the ground wiggle. Yeah, that's how we... Oh, don't tell me we've beached it. Nope, we are free. Oh, we've kind of gone around in a big circle. That's where we built the vehicle, up on top of that hill. Shall we head over in this direction? Yeah, I do like this game. I'm impressed with the building. I mean, I've managed to knock up something that's working. As I said, I am sure we could build something far better. If you guys are interested in seeing me do more building, mess around more on this game, then please do let me know. If there's lots of likes and lots of views on this video, then I will be sure to have a go at trying to build something a little bit better, basically. A little bit more symmetrical, hopefully more controllable. Yeah. There we go. We got something working. Hopefully wasn't too terribly infuriating watching me trying to figure out how to get a vaguely drivable shed going around. But a shed with 4 engines, so you don't see that every day. Okay, we've got the finish. We've got the finish. I know what we're doing. I was about to end the video there, but not anymore. In fact, maybe not quite go full power, because full power we probably won't have the control to actually hit that ramp correctly. We will deem this vehicle a success or failure based on whether it makes this jump. It's probably not a good idea to do. It's not the industry standard test for vehicles. I can't imagine Euro NCAP having a jump test. I think they should do, but I can't imagine. Or a jump test to do with whether the vehicle can make a certain gap size. Right, here we go. Will we? Oh no, we're not going to make it. Oh, we are going to make it. Oh, with a sideways takeoff and a spin-on landing, we have done it. We will have... Oh, our guy's fallen earth. The forces are so ferocious he can't hold on. I don't think our wheels are going to hold on. Look at the camber we've got going on. There we go. That's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time. What happens if we let go? Goodbye. Well, that was anticlimactic.